What happens when a young African leader challenges a global icon? The answer will shock you. Have you ever felt like your voice wasn't being heard? Like your struggles were being overlooked by those in power? Imagine that feeling amplified on a global scale. For decades, the Sahel region has been caught in a cycle of foreign intervention and unfulfilled promises. Western powers have poured in aid, troops, and advice, but the problems persist. Why? Because the voices of the Sahelian people themselves have been drowned out. But now, a new voice is rising from the heart of Africa. A voice of defiance, of hope, and of self-determination. Ibrahim Traoré, the young president of Sahelian nation name, is challenging the status quo and demanding a new path forward. His powerful reply to Michelle Obama has left millions shocked and in tears. It's a story of sovereignty, dignity, and the fight for a better future. Are you ready to hear it? If you're tired of the same old narrative and want to hear untold stories from around the world, hit that like button and subscribe to Political Trend Niche for more. The real story is just beginning. The Sahel, a semi-arid belt stretching across Africa, a region rich in history and culture, yet scarred by centuries of exploitation. Once home to powerful empires, it became a battleground for European colonial powers, who carved up the land with little regard for existing borders or local populations. Today, the Sahel faces a multitude of crises. Rampant poverty, exacerbated by climate change and resource scarcity, leaves millions struggling to survive. Extremist groups exploit these vulnerabilities, spreading violence and chaos across the region. Political systems, often fragile and corrupt, struggle to provide stability and security. And then there's the issue of foreign interference. Well-intentioned or not, external involvement has often undermined local governance and fueled resentment. The promise of aid and support has frequently fallen short, leaving communities disillusioned and distrustful. But amidst this darkness, a spark of hope has emerged. Ibrahim Traoré, a young leader with a vision for a different future. He represents a new generation determined to break free from the chains of the past and chart a course toward self-determination. But can one leader truly change the fate of an entire region? To understand the magnitude of his challenge, we must first examine the speech that sparked a global conversation. The Global Peace and Development Summit. A gathering of the world's most influential voices, dedicated to addressing the planet's most pressing issues. This year, the spotlight was on the Sahel region, and one of the most anticipated speakers was former First Lady Michelle Obama. With her characteristic eloquence and passion, Obama laid bare the stark realities of the Sahel. She spoke of the devastating impact of violence on communities, the urgent need for humanitarian assistance, and the importance of promoting democratic values. Her message was clear: the world could not stand idly by while the Sahel crumbled. Obama called for a renewed commitment from Western nations. More aid, more troops, more support for democratic institutions. Her words resonated deeply with many in the West, who saw her as a beacon of hope for a troubled region. The media lauded her compassion and her unwavering dedication to global progress. But beneath the surface of praise, a different narrative was brewing. While Obama's intentions were undoubtedly noble, some questioned whether her proposed solutions truly addressed the root causes of the Sahel's problems. Was more Western intervention really the answer, or would it simply perpetuate a cycle of dependency and resentment? This was the question on Ibrahim Traoré's mind as he prepared to respond. Days after Obama's speech, a video appeared online. It wasn't a slickly produced media event, but a raw, unfiltered message from Ibrahim Traoré to the world. The impact was immediate. The video went viral, shared across social media platforms and translated into countless languages. "We appreciate the concern of our friends," Traoré began, "but we must be clear. The future of the Sahel belongs to the Sahelian people. For too long, others have dictated our path, imposing solutions that do not reflect our realities." He continued, "We are not asking for charity but for partnership. A partnership based on mutual respect, where our voices are heard and our agency is recognized. We must build our own solutions based on our own values and our own priorities." Traoré emphasized the importance of regional collaboration, highlighting the efforts of the Alliance of Sahel States to address security and economic challenges collectively. He spoke of the need to break free from dependency and build a future of self-reliance. "We reject the notion that our destiny must be determined by others," he declared. "We are the masters of our own fate. We will chart our own course, guided by the wisdom of our ancestors and the aspirations of our youth. The underlying message was clear: a rejection of neocolonialism and a call for African agency. Traoré wasn't just challenging Obama, he was challenging the entire global power structure. Traoré's words weren't just a political statement, they were a deeply personal message that resonated with millions. Across Africa and beyond, people felt a surge of pride, a renewed sense of hope, and a powerful validation of their own experiences. Interviewee 1, African student in Europe: for the first time, I felt like someone was speaking for us, not just about us. It was like he was saying everything we've been feeling for so long. Interviewee 2, African American activist: his words gave me chills. It reminded me of the struggles of our ancestors and the importance of fighting for our own liberation. Interviewee 3, Sahelian farmer: he understands our pain, our struggles, our hopes. He is one of us. The emotional impact was undeniable. People wept, not out of sadness but out of a sense of catharsis and empowerment. Traoré's speech had tapped into a deep well of collective emotion, a yearning for dignity, respect, and self-determination. This wasn't just about one leader or one speech. It was about a shift in global discourse. New African voices were rising, challenging old narratives and demanding a seat at the table. The world was beginning to listen. This message needs to be heard far and wide. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Let's amplify these voices together and build a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Traoré's challenge to the established order sent ripples throughout the international community. Western powers, accustomed to dictating terms in Africa, were forced to reevaluate their approach. Some praised his courage, while others expressed concern about the potential for instability. Traoré's speech reflects a growing frustration with the traditional model of aid and intervention. It's a wake-up call for Western nations to listen more closely to African voices. This is a pivotal moment. It signals a shift in power dynamics and a growing assertiveness among African leaders. The speech also opened up new opportunities for collaboration. African nations, seeking to diversify their alliances, found common ground with other global actors who shared their vision of a multipolar world. New partnerships emerged, offering alternative sources of support and investment. But this shift in global discourse also presented challenges. The withdrawal of Western military forces created a security vacuum that regional forces struggled to fill. Economic disparities persisted, and political instability remained a threat. Ultimately, the solutions to Africa's problems must come from Africa itself. We need to empower local communities, support African-led initiatives, and foster a sense of ownership and responsibility. The message was clear: the future of Africa depended on African agency. The world could offer support, but the driving force for change had to come from within. Despite the hope inspired by Traoré's message, the realities on the ground remain harsh. The Sahel continues to grapple with severe security threats from extremist groups who exploit ungoverned spaces and sow chaos. Economic hardships persist, with millions struggling to access basic necessities. Political instability remains a constant concern, threatening to undermine progress. Traoré's government has also faced its share of scrutiny. Critics point to concerns about civil liberties, the suppression of opposition voices, and the need for greater transparency and accountability. Balancing the demands of security with the protection of fundamental rights is a delicate act. Expert 1, political scientist: effective leadership requires more than just strong rhetoric. It requires a commitment to good governance, the rule of law, and the protection of civil liberties. Expert 2, development specialist: sustainable progress depends on inclusive development strategies that address the root causes of poverty and inequality. We need to empower local communities and ensure that everyone has a voice in shaping their future. The path ahead is fraught with difficulties, but the people of the Sahel are not easily discouraged. Sustained commitment, effective leadership, and inclusive development strategies are essential to overcoming these challenges and building a brighter future. Ibrahim Traoré's powerful reply to Michelle Obama was more than just a fleeting moment in the news cycle. It was a declaration of a new era, a signal that the world is changing. His message of sovereignty, self-determination, and regional cooperation has the potential to inspire lasting change, not just in the Sahel but across the globe. The key to unlocking this potential lies in listening to African voices and supporting African-led initiatives. The solutions to Africa's problems must come from Africa itself. The future of the Sahel is in our hands. It's up to all of us to work together to build a more just and equitable world, where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. What do you think? Is Traoré a visionary leader, A symbol of hope for a new Africa? Or is there more to the story? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Political Trend Niche for more insightful stories from around the world. The conversation is just beginning.